Hi, I'm Benton Calder. I'm here at Metabridge 2015, and I have the pleasure of talking to Tim Eades, who is the CEO of vArmour. Tim, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Welcome. Great to be here.
Yeah. So why don't you just kind of introduce vArmour to our audience here in a few sentences?
Sure. So vArmour is based on the approach of looking after the modern data center. So we would argue that you have a distributed system in compute, you have a distributed system in networking, you have a distributed system in storage. We should just have one in security. And if you think about it today, here's a great example. In North America, there are 300,000 customers of VMware using ESX. 43% of them were breached last year. So we launched our downloadable model last week. Visibility should be free. Bad guys get in, bad guys move around, download the product, it's free.
Right.
There you go.
So that's what vArmour does in a
vArmour
nutshell.
looks after the data. It looks after the data in your data center. It could be in public cloud, could be in a private cloud, could be in any part of your data center. We put, with a distributed system, you can put protection next to the asset, as opposed to an old-fashioned perimeter box where it's just in the wrong part of the network.
So how long have you been with vArmour?
October 2013. My last company was Silvertail. It got purchased by EMC. And I did essentially a one-year tour, making sure the transition and onboarding went well. I took 16 days off in between leaving EMC and joining vArmour. And it's been a hell of a ride since. We raised $36 million last year, hired people all around the world. We have customers in Taiwan, Japan, and London, and everywhere now.
Wow. So you have been part of different types of security and fraud detection companies for the past how many years now?
Probably 15 or so.
So what led you into that type of industry?
It's funny, right? So I really like things that are fresh, that are completely dynamic, that changes every day. So the good news about security is you get fresh fruit every day. There's always somebody being hacked, and there's always something going on. So as an example, right, we were in New York last week, and we were talking to a reporter about our new product coming out, and the OPM breach happened of the US government. And my VP of marketing literally had one phone on one ear and my phone on the other ear. And we were on Fox News on television, we were on Bloomberg TV, we were on the front page of the Wall Street Journal and on CNN the very next day. And every day it was like fresh fruit. So what I like about security, first of all, the best product wins, which is always nice. But also you get fresh fruit. Every day there's new attacks, there's new vectors, and when you've been in it a while, there's some good people in that industry.
Right. Real quick, just a quick interruption to this interview. We do have a special delivery for you, I understand. Here, a delicious gin and tonic.
Way to go, Jason.
By hand, Jason Richards.
What a superstar.
Yeah.
Love that shirt.
There you go.
Shame it looks better on you than on me.
Don't try that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the industry of security, and you're at vArmour. How far would you say that vArmour is from the vision that you see that it could be?
So, we made a massive move forward this week. One of the big things is you try and build security companies or any sort of software companies today, you've got to look at the economic model and how do you disrupt the economic model of the traditional incumbents. So we have a very good model on that, and I think that's great. We have the second one is how do you disrupt the technology model? So I think we have a great one on that. That's been our core architecture, being a distributed system. And the third one is can you get the implementation model better? Because then you can disrupt the distribution model. So if you disrupt economic technology implementation, you can start to really disrupt the really big guys. And so we made massive movements this week. I think everything's a journey when it's software, right? Because it's never really done. But we're probably 6 to 9 months, what are we now, June? Yeah, probably 9 months away from where I really, really want it to be. But, I'm sure in 6 to 9 months, you're going to say, are you there yet? And I'm going to say 6 to 9 more months.
Yeah.
Because, things change, things move, things get developed. But no, I'm thrilled at the moment. I mean, everybody has dark days, right? But the company's on fire.
That's awesome. So now shifting to why you're here at Metabridge, why don't you kind of explain your role here at Metabridge?
So I've been coming to Metabridge for years. The reason why I come is I find the Canadians are just a bunch of crazy entrepreneurs, right? And they're like, we're going to the moon. And so every now and again they need a bit of advice to go, it's that way. But it's just fantastic. The entrepreneurial, courageous, fearless approach that the people have that come to this event makes me want to come. And you meet these people, and I met this fantastic company earlier today. And you're like, man, great company, great kind of character of the individual, really curious still, which I think is really nice. But just awesome. But I just love the energy. I get completely inspired every time I come here. I walk away just so inspired by coming here.
That's awesome. So what is your favorite memory so far of these last 2 days here this year at Metabridge?
Hugging it out with this guy, Jason Richards.
Yeah.
Jason has his wild things that he does with clothes and stuff sometimes, but no.
This is a kid's show. I want to remind you. So
it's just great to kind of relax. I mean, we all work 18 to 19-hour days, but it's good to come up, build relationships, get some sort of relationships with people. But I met I did some one-on-ones with some of the companies here, and both of them were like off the charts, but one was insane. I will tell you. I mean, the guy's building like a ridiculous company. But yeah, that's probably my number one from a business perspective. But hanging out, relaxing with a lot of old friends, meeting new friends, and seeing the characters that you guys have here. It's all about characters.
Yeah.
Startups is one of the hardest, toughest jobs there is. So you got to be a character to break through.
That's
you got to
awesome.
be one hell of a tenacious character.
Yeah, that's great. So thank you so much again for sitting down with us. I do want to ask you one more thing about your role in something called Cake for Kids. So why don't you explain to our audience what that is?
Sure. So it's a little bit sad to a good story. One of my close friends that used to work for me at a company that I ran that got purchased about 6 years ago, I run an email company, SMB email archiving company called everyone.net. And the lady there who ran customer support, Libby, was an absolute superstar. And she formed a nonprofit to look after, to deliver smiles, as we call it, to deliver cakes for underprivileged children in foster homes and everything else. And she formed this where she worked for me, and unfortunately developed cancer. And it was terminal. So about 2 years later, when she was going through her treatment, she came to me and sat outside my old office and said, hey, I'm dying. She's 43, I think, at the time. I'm dying. I'm not going to last the year out. Cake for Kids has all these volunteers. They make birthday cakes on birthdays of foster children, and they personalize them and they deliver them to these kids. Thousands of cakes, right? Can you help? Because I'm not going to make the trip. And she's a very, very close friend of mine. So I joined the board. I wired them a load of money. And we run it, and my wife is the executive director now. And now the company, as we raise more money, then every year we raise more money. We have more volunteers than before. We deliver more cakes than before. It's cakeforkids.org, and it's just wonderful to see you delivering smiles to people that are, kids that are struggling and everything else. And so we do that, and we deliver cakes every day to underprivileged children. And it's a wonderful thing.
That's awesome. So thank you once again for sitting down with us here. I really enjoyed this talk. I hope you all did as well. This has been a talk with Tim Eades, CEO of vArmour. Check out cakeforkids.org and donate, please. Thanks, Tim.
Awesome. Thank you very much.